Hi, I'm Owen Canfield with the opinion page of the Oklahoman, joined here today by Mike McNutt, our chief Capitol correspondent, to talk about life at the legislature. We say this every week, but it's true. There's a million things we could touch on. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the pension reform bills that are making their way through the legislature. Mike, if you would just, if you can, in 500 words or less, sum up some of the bigger ones that happened this past week in the legislature.
Well, the big one that happened was Thursday, is a bill to change the pension system for public employees, state and public employees, and elected officials. And basically, it will make it so that retirement age, right now, some state employees can retire in the 50s.
Right.
Because they have this rule of 90.
Right. So many years of service
plus
your age equals 90, you can qualify.
So if you get hired in the 20s, and put in 30 years, you can retire at 50, mid-50s, and late 50s. This new program basically will say the minimum age now is 60. The rule of 90 will still apply, but if you meet that barrier, you still have to work until at least 60. And for public officials, you can be, right now, I think you retire at 62, and they'll move that up to 65 for those who are in office less than 10 years, and for those who are in office 10 years or more can retire at 62. By doing this, they think, of course, this won't affect anyone until new employees or people elected after November 1st.
Right, so if you're on the dole now, you're golden.
Yeah, if you're an employee or elected official now, this won't affect you.
Right.
And the fact that they think this will be a long-term savings, obviously, because it won't have any immediate effect. Sure. But over 30 years, they think it could put in $400 million in savings to that particular retirement fund.
And the reason this is important is because the state's retirement funds are woefully underfunded, to the tune of $16 billion total when you deal with teachers and others.
So right now they're about 55% funded, which means if they already cashed in everything today, all the retiree, all everybody, they could only pay 55 cents on the dollar on the average.
Right.
So that's the OPR's plan. That was a floor amendment added to a House. The original bill was kind of a simple 62 to 65, but the Public Employee Associations wanted to get that rule of 90, wanted to keep that rule of 90. And it passed pretty well in the House. It goes to the Senate.
Right.
Now next week they'll take up the teacher retirement companion bill, which would be pretty much similar. The original bill was similar to the OPR's bill, but they're still working on their proposal, still working with the teachers and the teacher retirement system as well as the teachers associations. And we'll probably see that midweek next week. And that's the biggest one. That's one of the more severe problems, of course. Right. And the other big bill that's already passed the House and is the fact that to put not a freeze, but the cost of living increases for retirement, state retirees. Legislators in the past just granted them every 2 years.
But didn't fund them.
Didn't fund them. So guess where the money came from? The pension fund. Right. So the pension fund the funds just kept declining.
Sure.
And in the long overhaul, they have a horrible rate. That's what causes some of their, the long, poor investment rate. And this would say that the state could still give cost of living increases, but they have to find a funding source. Right. That alone will, just on the paper, will increase the funding levels of every pension system.
Well, from our perspective on the opinion page, I think it's a good idea to at least start attacking this problem. It's been kicked down the road for far too long, and so it's good to see the legislature serious about this. Mike, thank you for your time, and we encourage you to read Mike's stories every day in the Oklahoman and here on News OK.